Most history books tell you that Jamaica was discovered by the Spanish when Christopher Columbus landed ashore at this bay in 1494. The bay is still known today as Discovery Bay. But Columbus found that the island was already inhabited by native Taino Indians. They called their island Jamaica, meaning land of wood and water. The natural beauty of Jamaica, or Jamaica as it became known, is what continues to attract modern-day discoverers. Long strips of white sandy beach, tropical forests and waterfalls, a relaxed lifestyle under the sun. No wonder some 3 million tourists visit the island each year, mostly from North America. Catering to these tourists, as well as locals, are a number of American fast food chains. But not all have been successful.
McDonald's didn't succeed here because there was some dispute as to whether they were using local meat versus foreign meat. And if it's not local, Jamaicans don't really initially tend to support it.
Jamaicans have developed their own fast food chains, like Island Grill, Tasty Patties and Juicy Patties. Serving traditional Jamaican food, these have proved very successful.
We have a number of homegrown fast food enterprises where we make Jamaican patties, which is like an English pasty, but a doughy crust and then the meat inside. And we've since expanded to include a lot of other fillings besides the original meat, which is slightly spicy. We have fish, lobster, vegetarian ones now, soy ones, and we export them all over the world. So they've been successful because people eat on the go and they're proud of our local produce.
Jamaica's most famous cooking style is jerk. It's the local way of cooking meat, seasoned with spicy pimento over an open fire. This barbecue style goes back more than 1,200 years to when the Taino Indians used chilies, spices and garlic to rub their meat before slowly cooking it over a wooden grill known as a barbacao.
The word barbecue is a Taino word because they used to barbecue the coney meat, which is a little rodent-like creature. So they used to eat that and they would barbecue it.
Jamaica also has other distinct culinary traditions beyond barbecue and jerk.
Rastafari, Almighty.
Food is significant in the religion known as Rastafari, an African-centered religion which developed in Jamaica in the 1930s, following the coronation of Haile Selassie as Emperor of Ethiopia. Followers of the religion, known as Rastafarians, believe Haile Selassie was anointed by God and that he will lead the exiled black community back to Africa. When Haile Selassie visited Jamaica in 1966, he was mobbed at the island's tiny airport. For the Rastafarians, it was as if God had set foot in Jamaica.
As a black person awakening to a new definition of self, a new understanding of self in this colonial system, and recognizing that black people had a glorious past, a glorious history before slavery.
Perhaps one of the most well-known aspects of Rastafari, and indeed one of Jamaica's biggest exports, is reggae music.
The music played a great important part because there was no really major book written, there were no major what we call evangelists, Rasta evangelists, to spread that message. So the music was like evangelism.
Reggae's greatest evangelist was Bob Marley. But more than 25 years after his death, Jamaican bands like Roots Underground continue his legacy.
What slavery days were them that fought from dawn. Music is my healing, my salvation. Out in the streets and they've been crying so long. Love Jah and live or else you must go wrong.
After watching them jam in the studio, we got together for some home-cooked food prepared by Jelly, the studio cook. The Rastafarians eat what they call ital food, a Rasta derivative of the word vital, signifying food that is natural, clean and pure.
So the ital is food that is void of anything artificial, anything processed. The Rastaman is into a vegetarianism. Ital is a way of living, a natural way of living.
Rastafarians follow strict dietary laws, which means they avoid salt, oil and meat, among other things.
Rasta don't really eat pork, and Rasta don't eat shell food and, you know, crab and shrimps and all these things. That is what I know. I don't know about now, but that is really, Rasta don't eat those kind of food.
The menu at this restaurant follows the strict hygienic and dietary laws of the Rastafarians, even if some visitors are not all Rastas.
The body is a temple of the Creator, and if you want the Creator to dwell within your clean body, what you eat is very important. All my ingredients are all natural. Like, for example, if I'm putting seasoning, I blend all the fresh herbs and spices and put into the food. I don't put anything artificial like powdered anything. I make it.
Rastafarians believe that it's not only food that purifies the body and soul. Marijuana, or what they call the weed of wisdom, is regarded as a herb of religious significance. They smoke it in order to produce a heightened spiritual state. But marijuana remains illegal, and its popularity is only fueling Jamaica's crime problem.
Despite the sheer natural beauty of Jamaica that's portrayed in the glitzy tourist brochures and TV commercials, the global appeal of reggae music and the peaceful philosophy of Rastafari, there is a gritty underbelly to Jamaica, and it can be found in this part of the capital, Kingston.
According to the United Nations, Jamaica has one of the highest murder rates in the world. Most of the violence is confined to the inner city and driven by politics. During elections in 1980, armed gangs loyal to one of the two main political parties fought a bloody battle for control of constituencies and votes. The violence claimed over 800 lives. I remember the time well. I was a young officer in the Jamaica Defence Force. We were called onto the streets to try to restore order. As it was, we became caught in the crossfire.
We are a very we are quick to, we are inflammable. There's an energy here. And people in the old days, they threw bottles and stones. Now the weapon is far more lethal. It's guns.
These streets in downtown Kingston are no-go areas for outsiders. Tourists don't come here, and filming is no easy matter. We had to obtain permission from the local street gang, who preferred to stay out of camera shot.
But the gangs, reportedly, are no longer beholden to the political parties. And the political parties themselves are not in control of these things. Having set something apace, the fire's just gone ahead. So there is that.
The violence and lawlessness of downtown Kingston has led many to flee this part of the city. Other Jamaicans left the island entirely to seek a new life abroad, reversing the trend in the past that saw the island as a place of refuge. Today, there are more Jamaicans living outside their homeland than on the island itself. One of the best-known members of the Jamaican diaspora is Colin Channer, an author whom I met on one of his frequent visits to the island.
Well, the thing is this, is that Jamaicans, we carry our food and we carry music wherever we go.
That's
you know, and you find that if you want to find Jamaicans, if you move to a place, you find where the Jamaican restaurant is. And that is where you'll see Jamaicans from all walks of life. You see the banker, you see the doctor, you see the shoemaker, you'll see the student sort of eating in the same place.
If food can help unite Jamaicans living in the diaspora, then perhaps it can ease tensions on the island itself. And that's one of the ideas behind the weekly street festival known as Passa. The festival is held in the notorious Tivoli Gardens area of downtown Kingston, usually a dangerous no-go area. But for one night each week, people from the richer, safer, uptown parts of Kingston flock here and party with those from downtown.
It emerged from the people themselves. When it comes to music, people forget their politics. When it comes to music, people forget their background.
Social and political divisions are forgotten amid the eating and dancing which goes on into the early hours.
It's an event, it's an experience, and so people from uptown have gone downtown. and continue to go downtown on the particular night of Passa and dance and share in the food. The thing about Jamaica that always strikes me is that it's not a perfect place. Nowhere is a perfect place to live, but Jamaica is never boring. Always something is always going on. People are alive. People have a great sense of humor. You see, it's very creative. The people are very creative.
But whatever the problems are, I'm still deeply passionate about Jamaica, my home away from home.